Welcome to Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. Filling in for Dave Palumbo, I'm Cipriani. It's Tuesday, August 23rd, 2016. Let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. After starting the year out on a tear by sweeping 3 straight Arnolds and setting the bodybuilding world on fire, there has been one enormous question mark swirling around Kai Greene. Will he actually compete in this year's Olympia? And while the man himself has been pretty tight-lipped about whether or not we'll see him on stage less than a month from now, he certainly is looking and acting an awful lot like someone who's knee-deep in contest prep. Not saying anything. Kai has been spotted putting some long hours at the office lately and training like a man who is looking to rewrite a chapter in his legacy that's been marred by missteps and shortcomings. Earlier in the year, we saw the best Kai Greene that we have seen in quite some time, and if that Kai Greene can find a way to land on the Olympia stage, it'll be interesting to see what sort of dynamic clash emerges between him and King Phil. It's been pretty lonely at the top of the women's physique division these last few years for reigning champion Juliana Malachary, but it looks like her old friend Kiran Newman is ready to come up and give her some company. After starting the year off with a bit of a disappointing performance back at the Arnold Classic, Neuman took the entire middle of the season off to put her head down and focus on putting in the work for this year's Olympia. If you remember back to last year's Olympia weekend, Neuman emerged as one of the real shining jewels following a second-place performance that left everyone in attendance with their jaws hitting the floor. Now that she's had some time to rest, regroup, and reformulate her game plan for success, you'd be crazy not to think that a re-energized Kiran Newman won't come in and be a real force to be reckoned with. A few weeks after making a successful rookie debut back at the Tampa Pro, it looks like it's back to business as usual for former Canadian national champ Mike Cipriani. Despite not placing quite as high as you would have hoped, Cipriani did showcase some noticeable improvements from front to back, and certainly showed some flashes of potential for once he's finally able to pull it all together. From the waist down, Cipriani already has legs that can hold their own on just about any pro stage. So if he can really sharpen up his conditioning and continue to fill out his upper half, it won't be long before we start seeing him place his way up the rankings. It might be a new day, but it's still the same old story for the one and only Tricky Jackson. Recently, Tricky was spotted sneaking in a late-night shoulder session as he prepares to enter into the next phase of his 2016 plans. We last saw Tricky on stage a few weeks ago back at the Charlotte Cup, where he brought in one of the better combinations of conditioning and fullness that we've seen from him in recent years. Despite being in the sport for over 2 decades, Tricky continues to keep finding ways to improve and reinvent himself. And until he shows us that he's starting to lose some tread off those old tires, I'm going to continue and believe that when he's at his best, Tricky Jackson is one of the top 10 212 athletes in this sport. And that does it for yet another episode of Muscle in the Morning, powered by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. Visit IronMagLabs.com today. Filling in for Dave Palumbo, I'm Cipriani. Reminding you to tune in to rxmuscle.com, our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a great day.
Hey guys, it's Stevie B here. If you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button below and never miss another RX Muscle show, segment, or update. RX Muscle is #1. Woo!